My wife and I, we've been married for 27 years of marriage.
Yes.
Can you believe that, guys? 27 years of marriage.
27.
I still cannot believe it. To God be the glory. I've been married to this wonderful, amazing, fantastic, beautiful, gorgeous, attractive, sexy, sweet, amazing lady for 27 years, guys. I just can't believe it. Unbelievable. God is so good.
Yes, he is. Absolutely. Sometimes I wonder where the years
Yeah,
went.
I can't.
And guys, you see how he carry on about me, but
trust
he's the awesome one. The awesome one sits
No,
over there.
you are.
You are awesome.
You're the awesome
You're the
one.
amazing one. I don't know what I'd do without you.
27 years, man. God is so good, babe.
Yes, he is.
And so in this video, we want to talk about some of the things that we've learned being in marriage for 27 years. And of course, 27 years of marriage have taught us a lot of things.
Yes.
And we want to share some of those things with you coming right up. Guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Doran.
And I'm Joan.
Welcome back to Not Easily Broken. On our channel, we're all about helping you to build stronger marriages and stronger relationship. Let's get right into it. Now, 27 years of marriage, and you can only imagine some of the things that we have learned along the way. And so my wife and I, this amazing lady, I'm fired up about her, and she gets under my skin sometimes, and I get under her skin. But guess what?
True.
We didn't just grease ourselves and just slip over a log, and we're here
No.
for 27 years. It takes time, effort, and working together.
A lot of work.
A lot of work, absolutely. And so we want to talk about that in this video. So let's get right into it. So here's some of the things that we learn in relationship. Number one, friendship is one of the most important things in a marriage. What do you say, babe?
I totally agree, because I can sit here and absolutely say
Yes.
that this gorgeous
my
man
God.
right here, he is my best friend. And you know, if I say this, you probably won't believe me, but I'm gonna say it anyway. He's been my best friend since we were like kids, young kids.
We have a long story.
And yeah, I was just gonna say that. If
Yep.
you hear him talk about this story, you'd be like, wow. But it's really true. And until this day that we've celebrated 27 years,
Yes.
going to 28, he is still my very best friend. I do have girlfriends that I talk
Absolutely.
to, that I trust, you know, that we talk about stuff, life, marriage, and stuff like that. But this man right here, I'll tell him everything.
Well,
Everything.
I can honestly say that my wife is the closest friend that I really have. I do have a lot of friends. Of course, we are not everything to each other.
That's right.
We have friends that we talk to and we hang out with, and yeah, we glean from those people. But when it comes to my wife, she speaks the loudest in my life. I do believe that she would never tell me anything that will compromise or jeopardize the welfare of our relationship and our marriage,
Absolutely, yeah.
because I know how much she cares about the security of our relationship. And so, you know, friendship is so critical to a successful marriage.
It is.
Because at the end of the day, guys, when you can't figure out anything, you need to figure out how to be friends with each other.
That's right.
And once you get that part right, you better know that things are gonna work better. And I'll say this, if you're not the best of friends, please, I'm asking you, for the sake of your marriage, you need to start building a stronger relationship with each other, because your
Yes.
marriage is going to depend on it. And so yeah, our friendship is what got us here. Friendship is the foundation that it's built on.
And also, guys, you just talked about foundation, and I was thinking that,
Yeah.
you know, my next point actually would be God must be the
Yes,
foundation of your marriage.
absolutely,
So I
yeah.
was kind of excited when you said foundation.
Yes, indeed.
And what do you think about that?
Oh yeah, definitely. A matter of fact, guys, I mean, God have always been a part of our lives, you know, from day one, because we know that we couldn't build marriage. We can't build
Right,
marriage without Him.
right.
So God has always been a part of our lives. However, we found out that until we are completely whole in ourselves, in our
There you
relationship
go.
with God,
Yes.
then marriage can also be very challenging because there's an emptiness inside of us that only God Himself can fill. Only God can fill that, right? Sex
Yeah,
cannot fill it,
right,
marriage cannot fill
right.
it. You know, romance, intimacy, all of that stuff, money, fame, notoriety cannot fill that. But marriage can't. Only God can fill that.
You're absolutely right. And talking about challenges, I recall having some challenges earlier in the marriage
Yes.
as it pertains to my spirituality. Because this minute guy here, he's always like been dedicated, like he was born a
Oh,
Christian.
stop.
Joking,
No.
but
No.
it's just a joke.
I'm a sinner saved by grace.
Yes, absolutely. But he was the one who was more dedicated, always reading his scriptures and, praying all the time and things like that. And I'm always like, okay, and not that I wasn't a Christian, I was, but I am the more laid back one of both of us, if you
Used
haven't
to be.
realized that. Yeah. So he kind of like been the force behind me, and that's how awesome he is, because he's always pushing me to be better, and I actually love that about him, even though sometimes I get a little, throw a tantrum here and there, but I'm being honest. But
you push me too.
yeah, I do.
I think
but
that you're such a great helpmate. You personify
Thank
what it
you.
means to be a helpmate. And so, of course, we work together. We have always been great team members and partner in marriage. But I can honestly say that I'm a better person because of you.
and I'm a better person.
You
because of
stretch
you.
me to be better.
You stretch me to be
And-
better.
And that's exactly what marriage is really about. And so,
Yes,
there's
yes.
an emptiness inside of us that only God Himself can fill. But eventually, I realized that I couldn't change my wife to be as quote unquote spiritual as I am. And so eventually, we just literally just grow together because that's
Yeah,
what we do.
yeah.
We influence each other through our change of behavior rather than trying to force our spouse to change to become like us. Moving right along. Another point that we learned in marriage, the 27 years that we've been married, is never stop working on yourself and your marriage.
That's right.
Oh my God. Do you remember when we got started, babe? We know nothing about marriage. We didn't know how to build a marriage. We just knew that we were in love.
Yep.
We were in our early 20s, and we just felt like the world stops and we were just doing life, if you understand what I'm saying. But we found out that in order for us to make our marriage work, we had to work on ourselves as an individual, as a
Yep.
whole single human being. I had to grow, I had to learn, I had to figure out who I am as a man, my
We both
relationship
had to.
with God.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing when we think about where we have been and what we have been through and how God has been good to us. And we found out that when we grow, everything around us grow, including our marriage.
Yes.
And we made a commitment that every year we reset our marriage. Do you remember that, babe? Checking the pulse of our marriage, and
Which we still do.
and we still do it. Yes.
Yeah.
And we just sit back and we just reset our marriage. Every year we do that.
Yeah. Have you ever, well, let me ask the audience, have you ever just think about the place that you're at this moment and think to yourself, oh my God, I wish I knew the stuff that I know now
Then.
20 years ago.
Wow.
And that's going to happen in life to all of us, because
Yes.
sometimes I wish I did. I'm like, I would be in such a better place as it pertains to the various challenges in life when it comes to finances
Oh, yeah.
and having a family and all of that. Just knowing how to prioritize life, and it's just
Yeah.
crazy. It's amazing and it's crazy and it's life, and
We have grown, man.
yeah.
27 years of marriage. To God be the glory. And you know what's funny? We talk about this all the time. My wife and I, we joke about this, that as the world turns, so are the days of our lives. Because the truth be told, that you are in a different season
Yeah.
of your life than when
You grow
we just
and you
got
change
married.
and you evolve.
I don't eat
That's-
red meat anymore. But like 20 years now that I stopped
Over
eating
20
red
years,
Yeah,
actually.
over 20 years
Yeah.
I stopped eating red meat, and all these different things that we used to do, we don't really like that anymore. Food and clothes, and just growing and evolving
Yes.
and just changing. And I joke about this all the time with her, that I have multiple partners since I've been married to her for 27 years.
And the first time he said, I was like, what?
Yep, like, what the hell are you talking about? You have multiple partners.
I'm like,
And then I just kind of dropped the anchor and said, well, all these partners are trapped into this beautiful, gorgeous body right here. And so as she evolved, I learned to love her in those seasons and in those type of moments in your life. It's a beautiful thing, guys.
It is, absolutely.
And that's what we've been doing. And 27 years of marriage taught us that we keep growing. And as long as we live, we will always keep growing and loving and caring for each other. See, I'm supposed to be looking at the camera,
Yeah,
I
but
keep
you're looking at
you.
me.
That's just the
Camera's
effect.
over there, babe.
That's just the effect that she has on me. You see
Camera's
that?
on that side.
Yeah. Okay, moving right along. You will never always like each other. I will always love my wife, but there are times when I don't really like her. Sometimes she get under my skin. There are times when she get mad at me and I get mad at her, but we still love each other. We
Yeah.
don't disrespect each other.
Nope.
But that moment, she just make me want to pull my hair out. I don't have any, but you know what I'm talking about.
Oh my God.
And the same thing goes for her. Well, I'm the troublemaker in the marriage. Just so y'all know.
Oh, yes.
I'm the troublemaker. I'm the one that picks the fight.
And I'm the what? What am I in the marriage?
Well, actually, I don't know. You're the instigator. I don't know. Troublemaker, instigator.
It's the same thing. Troublemaker, instigator.
Well,
You're the
we
troublemaker.
we have our moments where we just
Yeah.
carry on. But anyway, on a serious note, there are times when there's conflicts or disagreement in the relationship where we just don't like each other. I don't like what you said. I don't like what you did. I don't like the way you look at me. I don't like what you act towards me today. And so these are just moments that we begin to realize that in marriage, you don't always like each other, but out of respect and out of honor, you still serve in the marriage, even in moments when serving is not easy.
You know what's funny, as you're talking about that, I'm saying to myself, you don't always like each other doesn't mean that you don't love the person.
There you go.
And some people might hear that and they can't understand it.
That's right.
But you need to understand it. There are issues in life, there are issues in marriage. So sometimes when these issues come up, and one of the issues
Yes.
that I'll mention is when it comes to finances. The man is made up different from the women. One thing about women is that if the money is funny and the bills aren't being paid, then everything else is funny.
We're going to talk a little bit about
Okay?
that.
So that's why I mentioned that point, that when the money is funny, you're not going to be liking your husband very much or liking the fact that the bills aren't being paid. A lot of households nowadays have, both parents or both adults,
Working.
both spouses working.
Yes.
But there are sometimes challenges where one person may have lost their jobs, and that leaves the other person to, basically bring the bacon home. And especially in the times we're living in with COVID, so many millions of people have lost their jobs, and you find that the relationship, the marriage just becomes very stressful.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So you're not going to like each other sometimes, but I'm sure you're going to absolutely adore your husband and love him just the same way, or your wife just the same way.
Absolutely. Because the marriage is all about partnership. And
Yeah.
so when I lose, you lose.
Right.
And when I win, you win. And so
right.
we just work together so that we can win together.
So my next point is, do not go to bed angry with each other.
Oh, yeah.
So I have this policy in my home, you guys, where I've told my husband and my boys, and if you didn't know, we have two sons.
Yes.
Darnell, he's 24, and Jaden, he's 18, going on 80.
We have grown men.
Anyway.
Yeah. Younger one always act like they're older, right?
The younger
Funny.
ones, right. So, I've told them, we live in a time where anything can happen, and we've seen it so often where kids go missing no matter how old they are. And so I've told them, never leave the house and not tell me where you're going. I don't want to get a phone call from a cop or seeing a cop car parked up outside and they
That's
ringing
right.
my doorbell. I don't want to have a heart attack.
Right.
And especially as it pertains to not going to bed angry, you never know what may happen.
Just never know.
Because you have people who go to bed thinking that they're going to wake up tomorrow or the next day, and they did not ever wake up. So can you imagine, you as a husband, you go to bed angry at your wife and your wife pass away in her sleep? How do you handle that? That is sad. That's devastating. That will probably give you a heart attack as well. I don't know. It's just a sad situation. And because of the times that we live in, this is why I'm imploring you not to go to bed angry at your spouse.
And it is something, ladies and gentlemen, that my wife and I found out that it just makes you feel so uncomfortable. You start to think some weird things. You wake up mad at each other. Your pressure is high. You're just distant from each other. As a matter of fact, when we used to go to bed like that, it was just I couldn't sleep. I just couldn't. I'm just not gonna go to sleep. And now when she's mad at me or she's not in a very good mood, I'm playing with her. She's just never gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna throw my leg over her. I'm gonna throw my hands over her. I'm
poking her
in the side. I'm doing all kind of things because at the end of the day, I just want her to know that, babe, listen, it might be a serious situation, but it's not so serious that we go to bed angry. It's just not. The Bible said, don't let the sun go down on your wrath. All right. Great sex does not just happen. It must be created.
That's right.
Let me tell you all something. When you just get married, you want to light up the bedroom. You go on your honeymoon, you're just having sex. Oxytocin, that chemical that create that bonding, you can't stay away from each other.
Infusing.
And just get all up on each other and all of that stuff. It just gets you all going and fired up. I'm gonna tell you all right now that it doesn't always gonna be that way. After a while, you must understand that chemical is just going to reach a plateau.
Best believe it.
It's going to reach a zenith. It's going to reach its peak. But in order for you to create that constant intimacy and passion and love and romance and affection, you've got to realize that it must be created. That's
right.
why it is called love making. Every time you get together with your wife, with your husband, you're supposed to be creating something special. And one of the things that we have learned, that we don't take our love life for by happenstance or by accident. It is a planned event.
Yes.
Hello. And she's a freak. Yeah, she is. I'm just gonna let y'all know. She's the freaky one.
Wow.
That's
You're
right. She
gonna
brings
do
out
me
the
like
freak.
that.
She brings out the freak in me. But
You're gonna really do me like that, babe.
I gotta tell my people.
But it's true though, because if you're gonna be wife and husband, you're living in the same house, you're sleeping in the same bed. I mean, you don't want it to be boring. You don't want. And when I say it, I'm not just talking about sex. I'm just talking about life in general.
Yes.
But especially when it comes to sex, guys, you gotta spice it up. Put some jalapeno in it.
I don't like pepper, so yeah,
'Cause
she's a spice. I told y'all.
I'm just talking about
The
heating
sex.
things
Okay.
up.
Okay.
You understand.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying,
Oh yeah,
guys.
fire.
You don't want to live together and every time it's just boring. It's just having sideways sex in bed and just give me some. No. You see, you as a woman to woman, you have to put your mind to it. If your mind is not there, the rest of your body is not there. So if you feel like you don't want to, then you can let your husband know that, well, babe, I'm not feeling it tonight.
It's not always gonna be all fireworks.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
But I'm saying that you have to take it seriously.
You have to.
You can't
have to.
just, and please don't be doing no lazy sex.
But but listen.
I don't believe in that.
Listen, if you have to drink some wine, drink some wine.
Whatever gonna float your boat.
Get yourself in the mood.
That's
guys.
right, baby. You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
in the
And
mood.
we take pride into that area. When it comes to pleasing my wife sexually, it's one of my top priority.
Can I get an amen?
Hello. We have a policy that ladies first.
Ladies come first.
Always come first. Ladies before gentlemen. So she has to go to the moon and back. That cataclysmic, that orgasmic explosion needs to be on fire.
Woo!
That's my passion. And after 27 years of marriage, which, a matter of fact, the sex is better now than it's ever been.
It is more seasoned.
Oh, dear God. Yeah, because it's about the quality now.
Yes,
We
more about the
we
quality.
don't want to last for 3 hours. We want to have a good one. we do it the next day again. Either have great sex and go to sleep or run away. We'll live to have great sex another day.
Or run away.
I don't know. Where did that come from?
He who has great sex and enjoys it live to have great sex the next day.
Whew, I'm telling you, the guy, she is freaky. I'm telling you.
Listen.
But she's a good freak, though.
Listen,
All right?
guys, truth be told, I'm not always in that zone. And he can tell you
Oh,
that.
yeah, definitely.
And I let him know, like, babe, I, take care of you, but I'm really not,
Yes,
in
I
the
hate that
focus
kind of sex.
zone.
Ugh.
And he really doesn't like it.
Don't
I'm
like
just
that.
being honest with you guys. He really doesn't like that. So I tell him, when I say I'm not in that zone, just leave me be. And tomorrow, check with me again. I'll check with you tomorrow.
But I'll say this, though, that because I take so much pride in
And you do.
pleasing her
And you
sexually,
do, and you do.
because I know her body absolutely responds to me differently when she's in the mood for love, mood for sex. And
100%.
husbands, you know what I'm talking about, that her body responds differently when she wants you, rather than she's just giving you sex because she's pleasing you. You know what I mean? That's why. Okay, let's move right along. Let's leave that part alone, before we have to cut this video and, go take care of business. if you know
Okay,
what I'm
so
saying.
I think that point runs on into my next point,
What
which
is?
is study your spouse in
Yes.
order to know how to please them.
Oh, yeah.
And we're talking about pleasing your spouse sexually just now.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what we mean. You each have to study each other.
Learn.
Know your spouse's likes, dislikes when
Yes.
it comes to whether it's food, clothing, just the way they like things
Mm-hmm.
done. When it comes to sex, especially, can I go there?
Sure.
Going back to the sex thing you're talking
She
about,
loves sex.
and talking about, studying your spouse. You need to even study your spouse on a sexual level.
Of course.
So you know what they like versus what they dislike. And in learning to please them.
Oh, most definitely.
So that both of you can come out smiling. This man here next to me, he has, according to him, he has a
PhD
PhD
in Joan Francis.
in Joan Francis.
All my life, for the rest of my life, I will always be a student when it comes to my wife. It is my job to learn the anatomy and the physiology of her body.
See what I'm talking about?
It is my job to know the rhythm of her body. I talk
You
about
see what
that.
I'm talking about, guys?
28-day cycle, the estrogen takes her body into another rhythm, and it's my job to learn those rhythm and those mood swings and all that stuff, because it's a passionate thing for me, I take pride in making sure that this fine, gorgeous, wonderful, amazing lady,
calm
I
down.
can't keep myself
Oh my
because
God, you're
she
getting
just
so excited.
Oh, yes I am. 27 years of marriage have taught me one thing and one thing only. If you ain't got excitement in your marriage, then you ain't doing anything right. So
Wow.
guys, I listen, we study each other. I know her body language. I know her love language. I know the erogenous zone, the parts of her body that when I touch it, it just brings her into another world. It's important, guys. And we're not trying to be funny. This is what we do. This is how we live. 27 years of marriage. I ain't got time to be on here just to please or just to impress you. We're speaking truth because that's how we live.
Okay,
And I'm enjoying that.
calm down a little bit, please. Calm down.
I'm fired up. I'm fired up. I'm fired
Calm
up.
down a little bit.
Number 8.
Calm down a little
Never
bit, babe.
spend more than you make. Guys, money is one of the big problem in marriages today. A matter of fact, statistics shows that the second cause of divorce is money problem, financial problem. A lot of married couples have more argument about money than they do about sex. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I do.
I'm grateful to God that we have been very frugal with our money. I'm grateful to God that for the 27 years that we've been married, we have never bounced a check.
True.
We have never had huge argument about money.
True.
I can honestly say that we have never spent more than we earn. And that is one of the key reason why We are not funny with our money. Because when the money is funny, the love is funny too. See, it's difficult for a woman to compartmentalize the emotional aspect of the bill
Yes,
not being
yes.
paid and trying to be sexual. When the man can turn off that switch and trying to go sexual, his wife is not there yet. She can't just flip that switch and no, she's thinking about that bills. Absolutely.
That is so true, babe. And so we all have to learn and know what our income is versus what our expenses are.
Yes.
Because you don't want to always be in the red.
No, you
so
don't.
you got to sit with pen and paper, know how much comes in.
Oh, yeah.
And what is going out
Better
as far
talk
as
that
bills
thing.
that you're paying. And always make sure that you pay yourself and
Yeah.
pay your tithes, by the way.
Yeah, you got to give. And we always say this, that listen, we don't know the Joneses. We don't live next door to them. We're not friends with the
That's
Joneses.
right.
We blacklist the Joneses. We block them from our social media page. We block the Joneses from our neighborhood. We just block them, right? Because the Joneses, we don't know, because we're not keeping up with nobody, but we're only keeping up with our business. That's what you need to do. I will also say this, ladies and gentlemen, that we found out that we don't chase status.
Right.
Because status is buying things that you can't afford with money that you don't have to impress people that you don't even like.
Or people that don't like you.
Or people that don't like you. That's status. We ain't into status.
Nope, not
we,
at all.
We don't spend more than we earn. We live within our means, and we take what we get and wait for what we want.
That's right.
We know exactly how to balance our checkbook. The other thing that we talk about also is that we learn to live on a budget. Budget is telling your money
Very
where
important.
to go rather than wondering where it went. Oh, let me say it slowly so those of you that was distracted at this point, you will get it again. Budgeting is telling your money where to go rather than wondering where it went. We make sure that we have our finance in order. We have life insurance that if something happened to me, my wife is okay. If something happened to her, I'm okay. Life insurance policies also on our kids, not because we want to make money off them,
That's right,
but
yeah.
just in case of death, because it's appointed unto man once
to
to die. It's not a matter of if you die, it's when you die. Will they have to pick up contribution at your church for you while you're driving a Lexus, a BMW, and all those fancy car, and you're broke? You know what, babe? Let's leave that alone, because somebody's
Yeah.
going to get mad with us right here. But we're telling you the
It's the
truth.
truth.
You sleep better at night, and you have better sex. You have a better relationship when money is not funny.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to leave it right there.
So our next point, guys, is always show interest in your spouse.
Yes.
And by this I mean that we grew up in an era where it's like the men are the ones who always seem to come on to the women,
Ooh,
especially
I like this.
especially when it comes to
I like
being
what she's saying.
romantic or being intimate. And by intimate, I'm not just talking about sex,
Listen
but
to
just
you.
being close to each other, like being touchy-feely. Women, you can do that too. When I'm ready, I rub this boy head, baby.
Oh, go ahead, baby.
I
Rub my
rub
head
him
again.
down and I kiss him all over.
Oh.
Not because I want to take
Oh,
him
yeah.
to bed, but I'm just showing him love.
Oh, yeah.
Just showing
Oh, yeah,
showing
she
him that I
does.
care for him. Because when you do that to your husband, can you imagine the way it makes him feel like
just love
a
you.
king? It makes him feel like a king. It makes him feel like he can conquer the world. It makes him feel like he can do anything. I'm
Ooh.
telling you, all he wants is some love. All he needs is a little love.
Cut,
Just
Jake.
show him some love. And a lot of us women
Cut.
are not a lot of us women are not passionate. We don't show love to our spouses. We are always waiting for the man to show us love. What about you? Show him some love too.
She make me want to just go make love to her, y'all. That's what happened when a woman appreciate a man and show
Yeah, you gotta show love and
admiration to
appreciation.
him. It just
especially,
fire him
especially
up.
when the man is good to you.
Ooh,
Come on,
dear
ladies.
God on me.
Come on, ladies. You
She
gotta
just-
do the thing
Can I get a
right.
kiss, baby?
You gotta do the thing right,
Oh,
ladies.
man,
Come on.
You messing with me. Wow.
I'm not
Wow.
sitting here,
Always showing
talking
interest.
to you as the one perfect. I'm trying to share with you things that I've done making it to 27 years of marriage.
better
These are
believe
some
that.
of the things I've done why I've made it.
And
With the help of God,
I
of
show
course.
interest in her too, just to let you know that I show interest in her. When she goes to the store to buy things, I like her to come home and show me what she buys. I go to the store and buy things for her, from Victoria's Secret to perfume and all those different things. I like to see her dressed up and just looking all nice. She likes to sit at the vanity table and put on her makeup, and it's showtime for me. I just literally like to look at her and just see the beauty that unfold right in front of my eyes. See, the thing about it is that no one's supposed to be more interesting to you than the woman or the man that you
That's
marry.
absolutely
Because
right.
you invest so much into your marriage that you have to spend time to enjoy your investment.
Yeah.
It is said that a man will never protect what he did not invest into. I invest a lot into you.
Yes, you have.
And so I'm going to make sure
you
that
are
I'm
absolutely
gonna make
an
sure
aggressive investor.
Oh, you better believe
Yes,
I'm
he
not a
is.
moderate investor. I'm an aggressive. I'll put everything on it. It is said that whatever a man invests or withhold from his wife will always be revealed in her countenance. That's why she smiles so bright, because I invest a lot.
Yep.
Hello, talk about it. So guys, you got to show interest in each other. It's important. 27 years and we're still fired up about each other.
And can I also add to that? A lot of times we sit back and we wait for the guy, our husband, our spouse, to bring us chocolate and flowers and all that
initiate.
stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not always about that.
love
Sometimes
that.
it's just sitting, watching a movie and holding each other,
Yeah.
and the laughter and the jokes and just having that moment of bonding and
Oh, yeah.
fusing together.
I want to share this with you guys too, that I had to learn that there are times when intimacy does not mean it's going to lead to sex. For example, there are times when I'm sitting down watching TV and she comes sit next to me, or I'm downstairs in the office and she come and just look at me and rub my head and kissing up on me, and I'm ready to take my clothes off, like literally. Or I want to take her upstairs to the bedroom and she'd be like, whoa, time out.
What is this?
What is this? What are you doing? This is not a love-making moment. This is just me just trying to love upon you.
A bonding moment.
It's a bonding moment. So I had to learn that. And these are some of the things you get to learn, the rhythm of your marriage.
Yes.
You've been in marriage for a while, you get to figure things out, all right? And so guys, 27 years of marriage, and it taught us so many things, man. I think we have one more point. Marriage is a partnership.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that we could talk about. We want to keep it short, and spicy, if you know what I'm saying. Marriage is a partnership. And we are, well, a lot of people say it's not really a partnership. It's really a covenant. We get that. But it's two people are different that merge in their life together as one. And because of that, it allows us to begin to, understand how to learn to coexist in a marriage. Learn how to love and care for each other. Learning how to be the best that you can be for each other. And I want to say this, guys, that it's a journey. It is something that you have to work on every single day. You wake up every day and you tell yourself that I want to be the best that I can be. I want to give the best to my marriage. I want to give the best to my spouse. Even in moments when it's just not, you just don't feel good about doing it. That's the power
For whatever reason.
of partnership,
Yeah.
if you know what I'm saying. Absolutely.
Yes. So in business, when one company acquires another company, it's referred to as a merger and acquisition.
Yes.
But that's business. But it's kind of one and the same.
Sort of, yes.
He's coming from, or you can probably say your husband is from another culture.
I'm from the Francis Enterprise.
And you both are from different cultures, different food.
And Joan Vaughn Enterprise.
Different way of life, and sometimes there's multicultural people coming together and marrying. So it's kind of like a merger and acquisition where
Yes.
you come together, where you have to now, kind of learn the other person's culture and then making a culture of your own, so to
Blending it
speak.
together.
Yeah, really blending it together and
engrafting
making it your own.
it. Absolutely.
Right, right.
That's what it's really about, guys. And so these are some of the points that we have learned. There's many more that we could talk about, but we want to keep it short and direct. And guys, I want to say this, that marriage is not built in a day. A successful marriage is built daily. Marriage is not a sprint, it is a marathon. Marriage is not a destination. It's a journey. And on this journey called marriage, you're going to have some pitfall, you're going to have some bumps in the road, but you're going to get up and you're going to keep going. You're going to fight this good old fight. You're going to lock horns together and you're going to work this thing.
Yep.
Why you like to fight, man?
No, because you talk about fighting the good fight. I'm not
Okay.
fighting.
I'm
like
just checking.
fighting.
I'm just checking. You're gonna lock horns together. You're gonna roll together. You're gonna be. Listen, she don't like when I say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. She's my ride or die. I ain't planning on getting married again. This is it. Until death do us part. That's the covenant that I'm a part of. And I make sure that every day I show up and I say, I'm going to make this marriage work. From day one, even when we didn't know what we were doing, we said, we're going to make this marriage work. And every year we reset our marriage and we keep saying that we're going to make this marriage work.
Yes. So
Thank
guys,
you.
even when you don't feel like it, just do it anyway.
Do it anyway. Ooh. I love
What?
that. Even when you don't feel like it, do it anyway.
Do it anyway. You might not feel like making them dinner. You may not feel like doing his laundry.
Do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
You don't want to feel like making love?
Do it anyway.
And guess what? Sometimes that's the best sex you have.
Yep, that's true.
The spontaneity, the instant gratification.
That's right.
Oh, dear God. Last month was 27 years of marriage. The 5th of February, we celebrated 27 years. And we are still here. And it's only because of the grace of God.
Yes,
And let me just say this. We did the work. We got to say that, babe.
Yeah.
We did the work. We didn't take our marriage by happenstance. We created the marriage that we wanted. And that's why we're still here. And if we can do it, we know that you can do it too.
And I was just thinking as you're talking, it is hard work. It is hard work.
And it's fun work.
It's a lot of work.
It's fun work.
But I was going to say that
Yes.
too. But it's good work and
Yes.
fun work.
Because a lot of people say, oh, marriage is so hard. I don't think marriage is complicated because the institution of marriage is alive and well. It was designed by God. The principle is there to govern, to protect it. I think it's the people in
Yes,
marriage
that makes
it
it
complicated because we are complicated people. Anyway, guys, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Thank
you.
you.
And some more thank you.
So guys, again, this is Doran and Joan from Not Easily Broken.
Yes.
We were happy to share with you on this video. If something that we've said
Yes.
has resonated with you, please leave a comment in the
Oh,
comment
yes.
box. You can click, like, and subscribe. We'll really love to hear from you.
Yes. And guys, let us know exactly how many years you have been married and what are some of the things that you have learned on your journey in marriage. We would
Yes.
love to hear from you. And guys, thank you again. And for those of you that are married, keep working on your marriage and just keep building it because your best is absolutely yet to come.